Hi, good afternoon. Welcome back to Training Tuesday on our live Jobs and Skills in Sandwell event. Today's going to be quite a short session, but you'll be able to find out all about the sort of training that's available. And it's going to be a session in two parts. So first of all, we're going to be speaking to Theresa, who works for Serco. And they deliver lots of training for people that are already in a job and want to upskill in order to help them get a better job. And then we'll be speaking to Sass from the Employment and Skills team at Sandwell Council, who's going to speak about Black Country Impact, and that's for people aged 16 to 29 that aren't in employment but want help and training to get into employment. So if you're part of the second lot of people, hang fire, we will come to you. But I'm just going to introduce now Theresa from Serco. So hi Theresa.
Hi.
Nice to meet you. So
nice to meet you too.
So tell us a bit about yourself, about Serco.
Right, okay then. So yes, I'm Theresa and I'm the partnership coordinator for Adult Skills for Work. Basically, what we're actually doing is delivering courses to local residents who are basically if you're unemployed, unfortunately we can't help. However, if you are on a low salary, self-employed, if you work part-time or even a zero contract hours, then there are courses available to you. Now the courses are free, what they call fully funded courses, and they are there to progress your career. So it might be that you're in a job right now and you want to change your job, or you're looking at upskilling or side skilling and thinking, actually, with everything what's going on at this present moment in time, I don't feel that my future's safe in the career I'm in, but I think it's time now for me to change.
Okay. Brilliant. So, and I'm just going to sort of ask you, because we've had one question come in already. So, when you say low salary, what do you mean by that? Is there like a cut-off point that people need to be earning or earning below? Does that make sense?
Yeah. So basically, the Adult Skills for Work is actually funded by the Adult Education Bureau, and it's underneath the West Midlands Combined Authority. So the actual project we deliver, you have to be earning under 17,500. You can go over that, but if you do earn over that, there might be part that you'd have to pay for yourself. But generally that they are usually free. Okay. So there is so let's just say you live in a household and your partner works and you don't, and your income before credits is around 17,500, then actually these courses are also free for you.
Okay, fantastic. So someone maybe that might have had some time out of work, bringing up a family, something like that, then they can access this training.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, and like I said, it is free for them. You have to be a resident, so you have to be over the age of 19 to actually take these courses on. And also you have to live within Pacific wards within the West Midlands. So we're working with Birmingham, Coventry, Sandwell and Dudley.
Okay, excellent. So hopefully most of the people that are watching this then will come under that in one of those postcodes. Brilliant. So what kind of courses are we talking about then? I mean, I'm assuming there's quite a lot, but if you just want to give me like the highlights, or just to give people an idea of what's on offer.
Yeah, the topics that we're actually covering are mainly functional skills, English and maths, level 2. Also, we do level 1 as well. We're looking at construction training. That can be anything from plastering, electrician, CSCS card, and the list goes on. All different forms of IT and ITC, so like your spreadsheets, Microsoft Word, presentations, PowerPoint. Yeah, quite it's quite detailed. We also deliver business admin and business and law. We've also got which is quite a good one. I think one which is growing as well is the management and team leadership courses. And we've also got engineering and manufacturing.
Oh, okay, so quite a varied portfolio of sort of what's on offer. I mean, what if, for example, you know, someone wasn't quite sure? I mean, do you offer any kind of like advice and guidance as to, you know, what if someone comes to you and said, I want to do something, but I'm not sure what? I mean, what kind of support's available for them?
Well, the support is basically they'll actually could email me on my email address, or actually telephone, or even contact you. And then what I'll do is I'll contact them back. I've been an employment coach, mentor, trainer for over 20 years in regards to career development. So if they want to speak to me and say, oh, I'm not too sure, Theresa, what do you think? This is my background, you know, this is where I'm at now, this is where I'd like to be, then I can give any advice. And obviously I'm non-biased, so if I know of other courses which might be with colleges local, they might be with other training providers outside of our own training providers, I'll point them in the right direction. So I suppose if anyone's got any questions and they just feel like, well, I think I'd like to do IT, but also I think I'd like to do English and maths, what do you think I should do first? Then I can actually speak to them, because I always say don't take too many courses on board at one time. Yeah,
especially if you're in work as well, because you've still got to juggle the full-time job on that as well. Now, you mentioned earlier a phrase that so if you're sort of in the business as we are, that we use these words quite a lot, but you mentioned upskilling and side skilling. So what's what side skilling, how does that work?
With everything what's happened at this present moment in time, a lot of jobs are non-existent and a lot of jobs are being created. So, for example, if people are working, let's say, within the leisure industry, or they're working within, I don't know, something which is quite, outdoors, sports, that work would have slowed down a lot. So what we're saying is having a look at where you are now, and not necessarily upskilling, but side skilling means to go into something else, something completely different, to change your career direction, where you want to go. And also it opens more doors up for you. So the more qualifications you have, the better career opportunities you will gain. That's what I believe anyway. And when I say upskilling, that's generally when an individual's in a job and they've been doing the job for, I don't know, a certain amount of years, and they just feel that it's come to a point now, not just for them, but also for their employer, to actually look and think, right, okay, what's available to help you to get this promotion, to help you to get this career progression, to help you to go up the ladder. So, and that's what I mean by upskilling, is generally where they're looking at taking on more responsibility and going into maybe a management, team leader, supervisor position. There's also courses available.
Okay, fantastic. So just going to, so we're having some people ask us questions. I can't name check anybody because they've all come through as anonymous. So unless you've signed up with your name, I'm afraid I can't say who you are. But someone said, where can I look for adult training when I've been made redundant? So what I would say to that is check back in with us on Thursday, because at Thursday at 2 o'clock, we're having a whole session on redundancy. Theresa will be here again because that's her other hat. For the sake of sort of keeping the information around kind of one topic, basically. We said today is about the training that are people who are in work and looking to to improve, or not in work and looking to get into it. So you'll have to join us again on Thursday for that. The next person has said, where would I have to go to complete the training, which is a very, very good point.
It is a very good point. We've actually changed the way our supply chain have actually changed in regards to what's happened, how we train, and the training is generally distant learning. So it's what they call blended learning. So it means that you have a tutor and you have a point of contact, but you log in online. So the way we're talking to each other now is actually how you would train. So you would go online and you can either go on as a one-to-one, or there might be a group of you, and you'd log in at a set time, which is convenient, and then you'd go through, you know, your course, whatever it might be. So if it's business and or engineering or manufacturing, it would be done this way via blended learning. There are parts, so like for you know, for construction, for example, if you're doing electrician or plastering, there will be parts where you do need to go in-house, and then you'd go to our training providers, but they would have all the social measures in place to make sure that we have all the social distancing, all the sanitizer, so everything's already set up and ready anyway.
Fantastic. So would they get, so obviously everyone learns differently, and I'm just getting my head around working via a screen like this, but so do they get tutor support as well if they're doing that online learning?
Definitely. Okay. Yes, so with online learning, there's a lot of tutor support, and initially when we, you know, whatever course you decide to sign up to, we'll ask the questions. Have you got a laptop? Do you know how to log in? You know, we'll send links to make sure they're working, and, you know, we'll make sure that everything's up and running for you and that you actually feel comfortable with learning this way.
Brilliant. Okay. We've been asked what your email address is. Is it that one that's just behind you? Is it this adultskills@serco.com? If you just want to move your head, I don't know which way.
Which way am I?
Other way.
That way.
That's the one. So yeah. Yes, that's how people can get hold of you.
At Serco.com. So adultskills@serco.com.
Okay, fantastic. So we've got another question. Do you do any courses in hair and beauty?
No, we don't. Okay. Unfortunately.
That's fine.
That's not one of the areas that we have. However, if you message me, I can have a look for you and I can refer you to who does.
Okay, fantastic. Also as well for that person, so if you are 16 to 29 then and not in education, employment or training, then we will we'll be coming to that part in a minute, so we might have some information for you there. Just as an aside as well, please do check out our YouTube channel. So I will put the address of that in the chat at the side. So as well, obviously, as what Serco offer, we've got some information videos from some other training providers as well. So we are an impartial service at Sandwell Council. So we do work with quite a variety of partners. So there's some really interesting training on there. I think there's some, you can even learn how to be a lorry driver, I think, as well. There's some training on there. So some really diverse and varied training courses there. So that's all on our YouTube channel. Kay has asked us, what is the duration of the courses?
It depends, to be honest with you, that they have what they call guided learning hours. So every qualification, you have to do a certain amount of hours to qualify and to. I was talking, let's say, functional skills, for example, the minimum amount of guided learning would be 55 hours, and that would be for a maths level 2. It would also be the same for English, but, you know, courses. So if you think about 55 guided learning hours, how it's spread out, you could probably do it within 3 months. But again, it's down on you. You know, it could be, you know, you can only put in 2 hours a week because you're working full time and you know you're at home and you've got other dependents, but then you'd speak to your tutor and, you know, we'd sort out the times which are best for you.
Fabulous. I'm just scrolling down. So someone else has asked, can I access the courses on a smartphone?
No, unfortunately not. It's there's too much to go on the screen of the smartphone. So it's not big enough. Generally, it's either an iPad. Some iPads can upload. Again, it depends what course, but we always say a laptop or a monitor, just because it's a bigger screen as well. Yeah.
I have someone's just asked. Someone else has just said, please move. You're covering the email address. So
hang on. Which one?
There we go. Yeah. That's it. So there we go. I've also published it in the Q&A chat as well. It's on the side, so it's adultskills@serco.com. Also as well, there'll be, oh yeah, and there's the telephone number as well there, so do make a note of that. Also, if you've got any questions about today, then you can get in touch with us. I'll give you our council's email address, the inquiries recruitment email address, to get in touch with our team, and you can also email us via the Eventbrite links as well. Well, thank you very much, Theresa. That's been absolutely great. This is, like I said, this is all a bit new to us. So this is our first one of these proper live events, and we will see you on Thursday, 2 o'clock, to go through all the help that's available for people that are facing redundancy. So to the person that asked that earlier, check back in with us on Thursday, and Theresa will be going through all that support that's available. But now over to Sas, who is part of the council's employment and skills team. So, okay. Hi, Sas. Turn your mic off. I think you're still on mute.
Sorry. Hi.
That's
Can you
okay.
see and hear me?
Yes. Hello. So,
Hi.
thank you very much for coming along. So, do you want to tell us who you are, what your job is?
Yes, I'm Sas, like Nicola introduced me, and I work for Sandwell Council's Think Sandwell team, and I am a area engagement and mentoring officer. So I mainly work on the Black Country Impact project. That's a project that supports those who are aged between 16 to 29 that are not in employment, training or education, that are looking for either short training or bespoke training or support to either get into employment or an apprenticeship. And the thing with the Black Country Impact project is that you don't need to be claiming benefits to come onto the project. Just live in the Black Country area.
Okay, fantastic. So, so what kind of support can you offer people then through the Black Country Impact?
Okay, we've got training available. We've got bespoke training. We can support people with advice, guidance, applications, looking at job search, looking at CVs, looking at mock interviews, and interview prep.
Okay, fantastic. So when you say, you know, like mock interviews and interview practice, so quite a lot of employers now are using video calls.
Yeah.
A little bit like what we're doing today as interviews. So is that something that you can help people with?
Yes, we do. We've had people, obviously, with the current situation, and people not going in face to face. So like you said, a lot of the interviews are being conducted via virtually. So what we would do with a person is prep them up and maybe go through the interviews through Teams or through Skype, and just go through it so that they feel comfortable and they know how to use it. Even look at things simply as the background, the way they're holding the phone, and give tips and pointers in regards to that as well.
Okay, fantastic. Also, I should mention that tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock, we have one of these events again, a live event, where we're actually going to be doing an interview workshop. So if anyone's got any interviews coming up, then you can dial into that to get some hints and tips with some other members of the employment and skills team. We've just had a question come through. Sas, my son didn't pass his GCSE maths. Can he do his maths again with you? He's 16 years old.
Yes, on the Black Country Impact project, if he's perhaps like going on to like an apprenticeship, then he can contact us, and we can look at upskilling with functional skills. Okay.
So you would help them to find a course where he can do that?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Someone else has asked, are there apprenticeships for over 29? So I know we've been speaking about, you know, sort of this training is for six, you know, Black Country Impact is for people that are 16 to 29. Just as a bit of a sidebar almost. So apprenticeships are available for anyone of any age. So if you're 29 years old, yes, you can do an apprenticeship. You would need to obviously have your functional skills, maths and English, or your certain GCSEs in maths and English. But that is something that you can do. If you go onto our YouTube channel, there we actually did a talk on apprenticeships yesterday. So there's lots of information about, you know, what apprenticeships are available, how you apply for them. So that's all on our YouTube channel. Otherwise, you can email us on inquiries_recruitment@sandwell.gov.uk if you want to get in touch with us that way. And then obviously we can arrange a one-to-one telephone call. So I just wanted to sort of answer that question. But Sass, so going back to you and talking about Black Country Impact. So we've had another question that's come through, and they've said, do I have to pay for any of this training?
No. If you're 16 to 29, you live in a Black Country area, and you're not in employment, education or training, then the training's completely free.
Okay, fantastic. Someone else has asked, I've got a 0-hour contract. Can I join Black Country Impact?
Unfortunately, if you have got a contract of employment, regardless of the hours you do, you won't be able to join. However, you can still access support from the Think Sandwell team, but not access the training that's paid for by the project. So we can look at signposting you to other providers, other organisations that may have the training.
Okay. So we had another question that says, what courses are there?
Okay. Currently, we've got maths, English, first aid, mental health first aid, mentoring and coaching, health and fire training. We've also got CCTV training for those who have already got a SIA badge. But what I will say is that the training is updated regularly. So if I've not mentioned anything and you need it, then please get in contact with us, because we can also look at bespoke training for you.
Right, so what does that mean, bespoke training?
Bespoke training could mean, for instance, we've had people who want to get into a particular career. That might be, for example, they want to become a tree surgeon, so they need a particular ticket for that.
Mm-hmm.
They might want to work as a cherry picker, or work on the cherry pickers.
Yeah.
It could be training, or they want to set up a niche in business and they want to get trained up on that. So that's what bespoke training is. It could be something that we're not. So when you look at our offer, it's not on there, but it's not to say that we can't support or we can't deliver that training or look at it further for you.
Okay. Someone else has asked, where would we need to go for meetings and appointments with you?
Okay. Currently, all meetings and conversations are being done remotely. So it's been done via email, virtually, or via telephone. We've been able to do one-to-one virtual job searching with a client as well. So at the moment, it is remotely.
Yes. Okay. Yes, we've all had to get a bit creative to.
Yes, that's it.
In these times. So yeah, so there's so at the moment we're not doing anything physically face to face. It's all via Teams or Skype or telephone, such as this. Someone else has asked, I've lost my GCSE certificates and there's a cost to replace them. So is this something that Black Country Impact can help with?
Yes, it is. And we have supported people who have either misplaced or lost their certificates, and we've been able to support them with that. because it helps them to either go into employment or an apprenticeship.
Okay, fantastic. And so I'm assuming then that we would be able to, you know, things like copies of birth certificates, no ID that people need to go into a job, that those, you know, those your right to work documentation, things like that, we can support with that as well.
Yes, it is, and even ID, any ID that they've needed. I would say is that if you have got any questions, is to get in contact with us, and that we'll be able to discuss it on a one-to-one, because everyone's needs are different, and we'll be able to discuss and support.
Okay, fantastic. So someone has asked here, I've been on the programme before, but then I went to college. I'm now looking to get into work. Can you help me now again?
Yes,
so I'm assuming that's someone that we used to work with and with help. So how would that work, Sass?
Yes, again, what I would say is to get in contact with us. I think you've got the contact details, haven't you, Nicola?
Yes, so
they'll be on display.
Yeah.
I would say is yes, get in contact, and then we'll look at whether you're eligible as well. But we will still support, and if be signpost you.
Okay, fantastic. I'm just scrolling down. Apologies if anyone, if I haven't got to your things. We are having there are some published questions, so those should be showing on everybody's screen in the chat at the side. So you've got Theresa's put her details in there as well. So there's just a couple more questions. I want to do construction training, or I want to work in construction, but I can't afford to buy the PPE. Can you help?
Yes, it's same like the certificates. If it helps you to move forward and it helps you to go into employment, then yes, we can look at that. Okay,
excellent. So just to go over the criteria again. So then for Black Country Impact, so for all the training that you've been talking about, Sass, they've got to be 16 to 29.
Yes.
Not in education, employment or training.
Yes, that's it. And they don't need to be claiming benefits.
Okay, fantastic. And then Theresa as well, just going back to what Theresa was saying. So if you are aged 19 plus and in the low salary under 17,500 for households, is that correct? Yes, she's nodding. Then you can access those courses with Serco. So that's great. Thank you very much, everybody. It's been a very lively in the comments at the side, so we've been getting some really good questions coming through. I'm just going to put my own, look at my lovely mug again. So here are our contact details here if you want to get in touch with our team. So we're on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram at Sandwell Jobs. You can follow us on there for all of our news and updates. Our email address is there, inquiries_recruitment@sandwell.gov.uk. So drop us a line if there's anything that you think of after this and you think, oh gosh, I should have asked that, then just get in touch. Theresa's contact details for Serco are adultskills@serco.com. Serco.com. And if you want to hear any more about redundancy, then Theresa's back with us on Thursday at 2 o'clock. And so that's a Teams event like this one. But otherwise, thank you very much, everybody, for your help. That's great. See you soon. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye.